I'll be talking about the legalities that we business women or the entrepreneurs should be looking out for. But firstly, I would like to thank this platform for calling me as a guest speaker. And happy Women's Day to all the beautiful women who are the entrepreneur. It's not easy to manage work as well as a professional field at the same time. So coming back to our topic regarding the legalities in the business that we are into. So we generally don't know what the legalities or documents or agreements or licenses we need to have in our hand. And when we are not in proper documented format, and then we come to a particular point when we are stuck up, we are actually into a mess. Then we try to search and advocate, and then we try to come out of it. So the stress level of any person will definitely be at a peak. To avoid such stress, to avoid the ambiguity, to avoid any kind of contingencies in future, it is better that we should have all the documented things at place. So first thing is that to start any business, if you want to start any business or you're already into business, you need to define your exact line of business. It should not happen कि मैं ये भी करती हूँ, मैं वो भी करती हूँ, ये भी मैं करना चाहती हूँ. Your line of business should be very much clear, focused. You should define what is your mission, vision, what is your exact line of business, and what are your aims. Depending upon those things, your other things shall be categorized. Okay. First thing is you need to have the founders agreement. Okay, what do you mean by founders agreement? That will come to the point. First is like first you need to understand whether you want to start the business as a sole proprietorship, a partnership, a LLP, or a private limited company. So these are the various entities that are available in the market. You need to first categorize your line of business into this field. Suppose you don't want to go for a major investment, you want to start as a sole proprietor, go in for it. Or if you want to start any business with any of your friend or any of a person whom you know since a long time, who is loyal, who is trustworthy, you can go for a partnership. And if you are a group of people who come together, you can have a private limited company or a partnership LLP. So these are the parameters wherein your entity should follow. Then the next category is, now what is a founders agreement? It is essentially a document that specifies the important details about the team, the business, the roles and responsibilities of each member who is running that particular business. It should not happen that I'm concentrating on aspect A and somebody is concentrating on aspect B, and I'm trying to intervene into the role or the duties of the person who is handling the aspect B. So it might create a chaos, it might create an confusion regarding the entire process. To avoid that, there should be a founder agreement. It will help you to streamline your exact line of business, or you can say the entire functioning of your organization. The purpose of such agreement is to reduce the possibility of surprises when it is actually into process. For example, if I'm concentrating on the production part and one fine day I start looking into marketing aspect, I'm not at all aware about the marketing field, then how do I carry out the function? So there should be a proper training, and then only a person should be transferred from a production department to a marketing department. So for each department, there should be a procedure. It should be properly manipulated. It should be properly drafted, and it should be followed accordingly, and the execution should be carried out accordingly. So this is basic the concept of founder agreement. Now, applying for the business license. At times we don't know what licenses we need for starting any businesses. Okay, the basic licenses are shop establishment, then Aadhaar card. As we have the Aadhaar card for our personal use, we have the Udyog Aadhaar card for our business, which gives the entity or the legality that you are the owner of the particular business. So these are the two most common and essential license that any business woman should have. Apart from that, if you are into any food industry, then food and drugs license you need to have. If you are into a hotel industry, you need to have fire and safety license. So first, depending upon your line of business, you need to understand what licenses you need to have. And once you obtain or possess those licenses, then only you can go ahead with the commencement of that business. Unless and until you don't have a proper license, you don't go for that particular business. there are the cases like, for example, if a person wants to come up with a chemist shop and he is not having that pharma BPharm certificate, then he will try to hire a person. So the dependency increases. It is possible only if he is your family member, but try to avoid dependency, especially when it comes to licensing. You need to have the license in your own name. Okay. Next is regarding the various taxation certificates. You need to consult a proper CA who will guide you regarding the VAT registration, professional track registration. He will guide you accordingly that those licenses are mandatory for you or they are not mandatory for you for running any kind of a business. Next is ensuring the protection of intellectual property. What is intellectual property? Basically, many times people are unaware regarding the concept of intellectual property right. You are a businesswoman, you have your own brand name, your own logo, and a tagline. Okay, so you are investing most of your time, energy, and money in promoting and branding that particular brand name. If your competitor tries to copy your brand name or the logo or the punchline, then people will start feeling that that particular person is associated with you, so your sales figure will drop down. And in order to avoid that, if your trademark is registered, you can file a case against the person who is trying to copy your brand. So this is called as a part of a intellectual property right. Or if you are into a production unit, you're manufacturing a product which is a two-dimensional or three-dimensional aspect. It can be any product, okay? Then you need to have a design application. What is design application? The structure. The entire mold has to be designed so that no person can copy the entire structure. In nowadays, like you are aware that there are many kitchen utensils that are being copied. The best example is Tupperware. You are able to see so many Tupperware molds or the structures which are being copied and which are available at a cheaper rate in the market. So to avoid that, if you have any product which is unique and if it has a uniqueness, you have to get a design registration. Next is if you are a writer, a photographer, or you are having a website, or you are having a jingle for promoting your business, you need to copyright those things. If you have a copyright for those particular aspects, nobody can dare to extract or use any part of them. So these are the basic IPs that you need to register. If you are registered, you are the owner and your next generation can also fetch the fruits out of it. These are the basic registration. For example, I'm a startup, okay, and I have a unique idea, but I don't have funds or money to explore the same. So I'm finding out a person who can invest in my a thought process or a product or the service. And then I come up with a person who's ready to invest in my concept. I discuss with him and he says, okay, come on, tomorrow we'll launch the same concept. But before I reach his office, he has already launched his brand with the concept which I had built with my own mindset or my intelligence. I am at a loss. So to avoid that, to keep the germs of your business with you or to keep the monopoly with you, you need to enter into a non-disclosure agreement. Then what is a non-disclosure agreement? It means I'm entering an agreement with that person before sharing the facts of the production process or any service industry which has to be a monopoly with me. There's a common question that would I like to ask you is, anybody can share me a single recipe of KFC or the formula of Coca-Cola? So the answer is no. Why? Because they have entered into a trade secret agreement with their high level managers so that the recipes or the formula is not leaked into the market. So these are the basic agreements or the contract that you need to take into consideration before entering into the market. Effective contract management. So if I have n number of people who are running under my team, it can be an HR, it can be a marketing executive, it can be any kind of a vendor. I need to enter into an agreement with them, okay, specifying what are the rights, what are the liabilities, what are the pros and cons if the work is done. If work is done and if work is not done within the stipulated period of time. So this will help you to have a clear check watch on them and nobody can take an undue advantage of your business or in your company. Entity registration, as I said, ki like if you are going to start any business, you need to register your company, you need to have your own licenses, then you need to have your domain registered. Okay, your website is considered to be as the face of your company. Initially it was a visiting card, but now it is a website. So the contents of the website you need to be copyrighted. If you have a mobile application, you have to copyright the source code of your mobile application. There are people who are on the follow-up of the big entrepreneurs, small entrepreneurs, even the medium entrepreneurs. To avoid such copycats to follow you, you have to get your documentation done in proper place. Insurance, okay, for example, like you are into a business, and to avoid any kind of a contingency, it can be a fire insurance, it can be accident, okay, so to get a safeguarding your people or your employees or your entire business, you need to have the insurance of certain factors. So insurance is also one of the criteria that you have to think about it. You need to open a separate bank account for your own business. It should not happen that you are having a savings account which is used by your family members and the same account is being used for the business purpose. It becomes very difficult to trace what incomes you have or what is the profit. Being an entrepreneur, it should be the first step that you should also be getting the salary if you're working as even as a marketing for your company. Okay, many times what happens, like we just try to get the share of the profit that you gain out of the business that you carry out. So apart from business, you also are entitled to get the salary for the work that you are doing. Keep it an aim that every month you should be getting the salary apart from the profit, and that is possible only if you maintain a separate bank account for your business purpose. Try to choose such a bank which gives a good facilities. It can be a credit facility, loan facility, advances, who's giving a proper back-end support to you. That's it from my end. Any questions that you have?
So lovely, ma'am. So lovely, Manali. I think there might be a lot of questions. Girls, please come out with your question, because we are coming up with the legalities and everything we don't know. Sometimes we take the legal things and personal things in together. As she said, sometimes we feel like personal account and official account gets matched on, gets together. So in such cases, we have to do certain, bifurcation in our personal account and official account. So there are many things which I think you have highlighted, Manali. So if anyone have any question, kindly go ahead. Manali, till the moment anyone comes, I have just recently I heard about you can take the patent of your customers also. Is it like such kind of things are there?
Yeah, it is possible if the customer gives you the NOC that I have no problem that you can take the patent in your name. The NOC is required.
Okay. Is that means that he will not sign the contract with any other vendor or customer? I mean,
without your permission, yeah.
With your permission. Okay. Okay. That's great. Thank you.
Anyway, thank you so much, Manali. You were really very informative, very crisp and clear. So I think we have no questions. You've cleared a lot of doubts in everybody's minds. Thank you, Nikita ma'am, on behalf of the UPP group to invite such a beautiful guest on board today.